Yeah, we should have done that.
Do you want to come up and just sign in next to your property, whoever's here for a hearing?
Not the who's there.
No. And then just put down the time next to it that you came in, so we
Okay.
know you are first or second or.
Second, third, so we have 3 so far. 3 out of 9, jeez.
Hmm,
Not all of them.
Thank you.
It's 7:33, so.
Oh, it's not a vote.
No, what property is that? Update seems like we're in the middle of something, I'm trying to remember.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So, I'll move to open the meeting of the Groveland Conservation Commission on June 14th, 2017. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so what, we've got 4 hearings tonight. Number 3 was canceled,
Okay.
withdrawn, I should say. So we've got the 3 RDAs, 1, 2, and 4, and then the notice of intent is scheduled for 8:30. So what we'll do is we'll cover some of our non-hearing stuff between now and 7:30. And then if we have some time before 8:30, we'll finish the rest and maybe, if we're lucky, get out of here fairly early. All right, so let's see. All right, okay. So the first thing we'll do is number 6. So Steve DeHulu's here to talk about the marker placement at the 2 lots on Homestead. Just for background information, 2.
Oh, you're just changing
Yeah, so Steve agreed to put the markers in the spring because they couldn't be put in the wintertime. But once we had the snow clear away, determined that maybe they weren't the best place to put the markers. So we're gonna talk about that. I wanna find the file here that's got it.
Oh, for Homestead, that's not in that file, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right.
You have a plan?
One you have, you guys have marked it,
Oh, okay,
no, for us,
perfect.
yeah. Okay, and then we do have the fence in, I don't know if
Yep,
anybody made
the
it.
fence is in.
Sorry.
Yeah, so, okay, so now we're covering the homestead, the first 2 lots on the right, everybody knows. So I'm hoping, there's a 100-foot buffer, it's just next to his driveway, real tight, as in snow plows or whatever could hit it, or, yeah, I mean, if you didn't mind us moving it, it'd still be 60 feet back, but it would be on that, we have a drainage easement here, and he's gonna mow it all. And it's just kinda close to the driveway here, and then we put all the fencing in, I was just hoping to get that back also, this one here, just so it's out of the middle of his backyard, he mows the whole lawn, like it's all perfect. And, we put the sign up and everything right before the fence, if that would be all right. This one would be 60 feet away when I scaled it,
Okay,
and this one would be 50 feet away,
okay,
and then this one would still be 60 feet away where the fence is.
yep.
If that's good with you guys, I mean, these people, I'm just here for them, they're gonna play out here or whatever, if kids ever hit the cement, not cement, granite, it's not the best thing in the world, and it's all just for them. I told them this when I sold them the house, but I just thought it'd be better for everybody. and they're gonna mow it all, and then still have the same sign. And if you needed more on the fence, I could put more signs on the fence also, you know, extra if you needed.
So we had them at the 100 and you're asking to move them back to the 60?
Yeah, and it's all, you know, it's all been, land's all perfectly grass and mowing it all the way to where the silt fence is, where the wetlands, not where the wetlands is. This is the 100-foot buffer, and I'm trying to get 60-foot buffer where the easement drainage is, and they won't go in there anymore anyways because there's a swale. And here there's a fence, so they wouldn't go any further here. And I got pictures, I don't think you can see it that great, but it is a fence. And these are the backyard, and this is the driveway. You know, so it would only be 4 feet off of that driveway, so when they go to snowplow, I don't know how long it would last. And that shows the detention ponds and everything here also, without the fence.
Yeah, I saw the fence by King Street, I haven't seen,
Yeah, so
I
this
haven't
one's all
walked
in
it all
also.
along the back.
And I just didn't wanna put a post right in the middle of the back when they already, to deal with the fence, which I understand everything. But
Well-
it just seems better for them.
Here's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
We started putting markers at 50 or 75 foot. And it's kind of confusing because it says
Just my fault.
that anything beyond this point, you have to file for permit. But in
Mhm.
reality,
Sure.
anything beyond 100 feet, you
Sure.
have to file for a
Right.
permit. So, I think the commission's experience has been, maybe we'd be better off putting them at 100 feet, because then legitimately it says, anything beyond this point, you might have to file.
It's all deeded also, so
Yeah.
they're very informed with all
Yes.
this. And I told them, you can't change the grade, you can't do anything, and they know it when they
Yep.
sign, the contract or the
Yep.
deed. It
So-
says that.
Rosemary, tell us a little bit about our experience over there on Stonebridge.
Oh, with the markers?
Well, yeah, with two. The one at, the one most recent, I don't wanna give the numbers away, but the one with the trees,
Oh,
and then the
yeah,
other
so we
one,
have-
the other
right.
person with the pool.
Right, so we had one person that their markers are there,
Mhm.
and they just cut down trees beyond it anyway.
Right,
So
okay,
they don't even pay attention to them.
sure.
They're right there.
Mhm.
The other one, they have trees, they kind of left everything alone, but it is where their yard is. It's
Mhm.
just beyond like a deck that they have. And so they wanna cut down trees
Mhm.
too, but at least they came and asked ahead of time to say,
Okay,
we saw these markers, we know that we have to file anything beyond
Mhm.
this point. So you have two different people, like one is like,
Right.
we see the markers, but we
Sure.
don't see the markers.
Right,
And the
right.
other one is like, yes, we do.
There's no trees.
yeah,
Well,
okay, that's good,
What,
right.
can you, I know you're saying that one is by the driveway, can you move it away from the driveway and still keep it at the,
Start swinging it this way, yeah, that'd be fine,
and just so
Start coming that
they're,
way,
down
it's
there.
Then you
probably
won't-
better, right?
you won't have to
Yeah.
be impacted by, or they won't have to be impacted by
Sure.
the snowplow, but just
Yep.
move it a little bit to
Yeah,
the
move it
side
this
of
way.
the driveway,
Keep
and
it-
then it still
what do you
can
think,
be
Mike?
at 60 feet, and
Yeah.
you won't have to,
Yeah,
Yeah, be at the 100, still at the
Yeah.
100 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, that one would
Right.
be.
can you do it
And
that
even-
way?
yep,
Even this one, if
That
we
would
could
help
put
them
it
all
like
out.
right there,
yeah, this would be great, just
you
to
know,
move it
it
over.
would still be at the
Okay, I
100
gotcha.
foot.
Yeah, that's better than moving it back, so we'll keep them on the 100, but we'll just swing
Right,
them over
just
a
kind
little.
of move them a little
Okay,
bit
yeah,
off to
yeah,
the
yeah.
side,
And
right?
And this one here, I could swing this way, I didn't realize it. This one here, Mike, we go this way.
Yep.
It'll get out of the middle of the backyard.
yep.
It'll still be on the 100?
In that one there, we
Okay.
could move down to here.
Yeah, okay,
So we'll put
perfect.
it right there.
Yeah, so we'll keep them all on the 100.
What do you think about that? Sound like
Well-
a good idea?
It's all cleared already, though, it's all lawn.
No, I know, I mean, when we first saw it, I bet you lot 6 was probably all fields, I think, when we went there. Towards the
Right.
back, though, was a
Yeah.
lot of woods.
Yep, right
So
along.
that got
Silt
cleared
fence.
out.
Yeah, all right
Um,
along where the hay bales are, and the silt fence still are.
Where's the drainage?
Yeah, so the drainage easement. is
That was right
actually-
here, so this was all treed and that got all cleared out,
And there's
so now it's
also,
all
this one
clear.
comes from this pond.
Right, yep,
That
I know the
goes
one by the
this way.
front.
So there is a swale there, but they're not gonna go in there, it's just not easy to go in there anyways. And they wouldn't wanna go in there with a lawnmower or anything.
Right,
one
still
doesn't have
lined
the
up pretty
houses,
close.
so you can't really tell.
without, you know.
I feel like the sign is not only
But
for,
Basically, they're gonna
like
put
trees
one
and grass, but it's
right
also,
here.
what if they wanted to put patio out there, or a fire pit, or
Right.
pools, or
right
whatever, it's
there,
just more,
and
you know,
Right, they give it like
this is
a-
100-foot buffer,
Sure.
yeah.
The way things are run, it seems like everybody's.
And the same thing over here,
on
I think
pace
it's gonna
these
be.
days.
Right.
With everything.
over
Except
The
for
building inspector,
whatever
everybody
that was.
else.
Yeah,
Right.
well, and also pools,
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
that's
times
you.
people wanna
Yeah.
put in an
Right.
above-ground pool and
Sure.
don't realize that they have to file to do
Right.
that. so.
That way there,
Yeah,
they're
we're
not
well
doing it
aware
over
of
their
it.
backyard.
You know, everything, I know. you
Yeah.
know,
So
but
they're,
it's
it's
on
just
the-
an extra reminder,
No,
that's
it's-
all, that's
yeah,
all it is.
They're efficient, they're all still at the 100-foot
Yeah, we'll
buffer.
just
Yeah.
slide them
The way
all
it
over and try to
goes,
keep them on the
it's
100
way
foot.
easy, so-
So, are
Slide
we,
that one this way.
we're still keeping the 4, 2 per lot?
Yeah,
So that goes left, that one goes right,
Right,
where's that one going?
and this one just over to the left, because I'm sure the fence is right about here. But that works out, it's kind of just in the middle right now.
Because the drainage swell,
On this one here, it goes right down the middle.
right, and where's the fences around the drainage pond
Yeah,
here?
it's all right on this dotted line here, close to it.
Okay, so probably
upper.
at the 50 or 60 is where the fence is.
Yes. Maybe a little bit more, yeah. Better, have the 60, yeah. I just scaled it.
Okay.
And this one, of course, is fine. It's just these two, if we could just slide them a little. We won't go back, we'll go sideways.
I guess I can look at what did the rest of the gang think?
And I could put stakes out there if you wanna walk out and look at them, that's fine.
no, I think we trust you. Just let me know when you install them.
Yeah,
So,
that's a problem.
do we have any questions? Somebody wanna make a motion on this? To move the markers to the left and the right, but remaining on the 100-foot buffer line?
You said it so well.
I know,
Okay, I'll move that. Anyone wanna second it?
seconded.
Okay, you got that, Julie?
Yep.
Okay, any questions on the motion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so it's unanimous.
Okay, now put them in, if you don't like it,
We'll let you
just
know,
let me
yes,
know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just trying to help these guys.
yeah, no, you know,
Yeah.
that's the thing, is
Yeah.
they tend to be obtrusive,
Right.
you know, but in
All
some
you
ways,
need is-
that's a good thing.
That's their
Right.
purpose.
Right.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, great.
Thank
All
you.
right, all right.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Okay, good. All right, so, let's see, let's go down to number 7. I'll just give you an update on that. This is a property, the property that abuts VZ Park, and I don't think I have a map of it. You know, it's a 10.5 acre parcel that fronts on Salem Street and backs all the way up to VZ Park. It has significant wetlands on it. Probably at least half of it is, you know, unbuildable due to the wetlands and the buffers. So I did make an offer on our behalf to buy it. And then you know, you have to have a willing seller, so once they would agree, then we would have to figure out how we were gonna pay for it. Probably CPA and other grants, but, so far, I have not got a positive, on our offer. Actually, I was told that somebody else put an offer in that was significantly more money than what I put down for an offer. So, so the chances are, unless they really think that the town of Groveland should own it, we probably aren't gonna get it. But, so what I wanted to ask the rest of the commissioners here is, what are your thoughts about pursuing the back portion of it? We could do a few different things. We could We could do nothing, somebody else, a developer buys it, they wanna put in, say, 4 or 5 houses there, they can't do it on the back portion, which is what we would like to buy, because it abuts the park, and it also gives us access, more access to Johnson's Pond. And we could do nothing, and then when they file for the permits, we could ask that they donate the property to the town, or sell it to the town, you know, at a lower cost, that kind of thing. That'd be one thing we could do. Another thing we could do is we could try to arrange a deal with whoever does buy it. I don't know who it is that put an offer in. It's not the standard people who I would have thought. But, you know, once I find out who it is, we could go and say, all right, you know, we want to buy the back 4 acres, here's what we could pay, would you be willing to go split the deal with us so that we can buy the back part and, you know, you have the front part. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I could pursue this with one of the developers who is willing. I have 2 developers who are willing to partner with us, but I've hesitated to do that, go back to the seller and say that, because if, I'd rather have them say, no, your deal is not on the table, before I come in and give them another deal that maybe they would sell it to us, you know, at my initial offer. So that would be option number 3, is we'd go back with another offer, partner with a developer who wants to buy it, and who doesn't even have an offer in, and we put a joint offer in and see if they'd be interested in that. So those are the 3 options, basically do nothing, and wait, try to approach the winning buyer, or try to get another buyer involved as our partner. So what do you think? What should we do?
I would not pursue another buyer
I would do
as a
nothing.
partner. That just sounds dangerous. And I'm sort of with Heather in we know it's wet, so they can't build it. And
Yeah.
the whole idea would be to preserve it, and it's gonna be that by default. The only thing we'd be potentially giving up would be access, which, if they do develop, we can maybe negotiate, can we have access to it?
Yep. Okay, so you like option number 1.
Definitely not option 3,
Mm-hmm.
and more option 1. And it sort of rubs me the wrong way to pay for something that we know, I don't wanna say it doesn't have value to anybody other than conservation, but
Yeah,
the reality is
except
some
you-
of
you know that in past experience, expecting a developer to donate something to us doesn't usually work out.
no, I know, and the selectmen don't like that either.
Well, new selectmen now.
Right, but what I'm getting at is that it's not like we're taking a pristine piece of property that we can do other things with. If it's wet now, they can't do anything with it, so.
No,
And there's
Paying
nothing
for it,
on the
you know.
buildable areas right now, it's just.
no.
woods.
I'd like to buy the whole thing, so it'd be worth it to buy the whole thing.
No, I understand. I
Because it
just-
would give us access all the way out to Salem Street, and there's a parking lot over there, so, and there's a couple of nice trails through it. It's a very, very nice property. It would be worth buying the whole thing, but, you know, buying just the back acreage,
How many acres is the back?
well, it's probably at least 4 anyway, it could be 5, but 4, you know, and the most we're gonna be able to appraise that out at is probably about $4,000 an acre, so, you know, we could say, all right, well, we wanna buy it for $16,000, but, you know, point is that, should we really do that, or just wait until
Yeah.
they apply, so,
I would wait and see for them to get back to you.
okay. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do that anyway, but, all right, so it's our general feeling to go with the option one of just waiting and seeing what happens. All right,
Yeah, I'd like to see a map anyways, just to, because we say we would just go after the wetlands maybe, but we may want something else, another part of it too,
yeah,
or
right.
like you say, for access.
Right. I didn't
It's
bring
okay,
that,
I can look at it.
I didn't bring it with me, but. Okay, so that's number 7. All right. Number 8 is, I'd like to take a vote on this one. The 4th graders, the crew from Bagnell School, have a kiosk that they built with some of their parents, and it was going to be placed down at the Pines, but they decided that placing it on the Greenway at Center Street might be a better idea. So I talked to the open space, Groveland Open Space and Trails, and they like the idea of putting it at Center Street. So what they'd like to do is, at least for the time being, put it right inside the fence at 150 Center Street, the main entrance to the Greenway, even though that particular property is not controlled by us. But that's the street entrance to our property. And if you put a kiosk or signage right now in where we are, nobody's gonna see it. So, this would, give people notice, you know, that something is here, something's going on. Now, I did have a Land and Water Conservation Fund sign put up there at the entrance, and somebody stole it. Somebody broke it off and stole it about 6 months ago. So I have a replacement that I'll put up back on the kiosk once they put that in place. And if necessary, eventually the kiosk could be moved further in to the beginning where our property starts, which is either the entrance to where they're doing the gravel removal now, or a further corner down the other end where the former Mattingly property starts. So what I'd like to do is have us agree to ask Groveland Open Space and Trails to put the kiosk at the Center Street entrance for now.
And what is the kiosk holding?
It's gonna have maps on it.
Oh, okay.
Signage. It's probably about 4 feet wide, and then it's got like a slanted roof on it. We've got a very small one at Meadow Pond. We've got one in Town Forest. So we've got a few of these things.
Did Open Space talk with the selectmen about putting it on that property?
No. I'll take care of that.
Can we, yeah, can we maybe
I'm
do
just
that
gonna let them know.
I don't think they would mind, but just so they know.
Yeah,
And is, the 4th graders understand that we're probably gonna ask them to move it in 2 years?
yeah, they don't
Further back.
care. They wanna put it up. It's been sitting there.
No.
You know, they were gonna put it up in the Pines, like I say, but then it doesn't serve as much purpose there as it would at the Greenway, so.
Who has to install it?
But the open space people are gonna install it. We don't have to do that. So, I'd like to make a motion to, agree to the placement of a kiosk at the entrance to the Center Street Greenway by Groveland Open Space and Trails.
I'll second.
Any more questions on that? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, unanimous. All right, let's see.
Could I just have everybody that's in the, in a hearing, come up and sign next to your name and write the time down that you got here?
Yeah, if you're representing,
If you're gonna be doing a hearing today with us?
Or are you just a butters?
no, we don't need,
Is
yeah.
that a hearing or butters? I have no idea what.
I was just making a clarification. You're welcome.
I'm glad, 'cause I probably was gonna go up there and not know that my name's not there.
So it's
Okay,
take and
let's see.
Right.
Just sign next to it,
Yeah. Which number are you?
16.
Number 1, though? Are you for Whitestone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got the minutes. We're not gonna take a vote on them tonight, but just take a look at these.
Thank you.
And we had discussed our schedule. And one of the things that we talked about was eliminating sign-offs on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So
Away.
I thought about it, and here's what I would say. We've got a few options, another one where we could do a few different things. So what we could do is eliminate sign-offs and just have it be open office hours on Monday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m., manned by our agent, Rosemary. So that could be one option, and we don't have to be there. So no commissioners, that's one option. Number 2 is we would have a commissioner on call, so that if Rosemary, for some reason, needed you, you would get called and have to come down.
No
And
one
this
likes
laugh.
that one. I can see
And-
that one.
And
beeper?
the last option is to keep it as it is. You know, we have sign-ups that every Monday night that the town hall is open. One commissioner at least is here, and Rosemary, of course, still would be here.
I have a comment to that.
Yep,
So it's actually not sign-offs, because we don't
Not
sign
anymore,
anything off.
right.
So I vote for the first option, because we're not actually signing anything.
yes. Well, the first option was that we change it to be open office and we don't have any commissioners.
Yeah,
You like that option?
well, then, we're not signing anything off.
I mean, I haven't talked to anybody in months.
Yep.
you know.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, nobody has shown up in the nights I've been here.
Yeah. Okay, so my only concern, the concern I have is, I don't want us to become just this rubber stamp committee that, you know what I mean, we just show up at our meeting once a month or whatever, and we're not too involved with what's going on. So, that's the only concern I have is, you know, but I don't know that being here on a Monday night anymore is accomplishing being involved. You know, we've kind of changed with most of what's being done as far as filings, inspections, site visits is all being done during the week by our agent. So we don't need it to be focused on Monday nights anymore.
We have more office hours.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so, I would say probably, option 1 would be what everybody would like.
I mean, I'd be fine if we sign up for, we don't actually show up, but like if somebody comes with a question that Rosemary doesn't, or they have further questions or whatever, then, okay, you know, on such and such a night, that's Tom's responsibility, so, you know, she, you know, I get a message that I have to call these people or whatever and talk about it after the fact or something. I mean,
Well-
that way they feel like they get their question answered, but we're not waiting.
Yeah.
and we're not there for the evening when nobody shows up.
Right, So what we could do is, we could make sure we all have our current cell phone and email information. Rosemary would have that, and if anything showed up on that time where she needed pretty immediate input, she would contact somebody on the list. Presumably not the same person every time. That way there, we don't have to be
Yeah.
trying to deal with a schedule, you know, and
Right.
scheduling is a pain in the neck. All right, so,
I vote that we call Terry on all questions, because he's not here.
yes, that's right, if you could get a hold of him. All right, so, as of July 1st, we'll give this a try and see how, I'm sure it's gonna work out, you know, primarily because we have an agent now. I don't think this would have worked without that, so.
Yes, thank you, Rosemary.
Freedom.
I know, yes.
Okay, all right, so let's see, who have we got first? So we're ready to
Number
open
4.
these hearings. Number 4, all right. So, let's see, Heather, can you make a motion to open the hearing at,
I make a motion to open the RDA GRDA work on Electric Row 394 line at 7:32
okay,
PM.
all right, second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so, yes, doesn't matter, whatever you wanna do.
All right, hi everyone. My name's Kate Rimmel. I'm here on behalf of National Grid, who's the signed applicant on this project. So quick overview, this involves steel footer inspections along the 394 transmission line. This is part of our regular inspection cycle that occurs every 20 years, and National Grid performs on all of its transmission lines. So what's being permitted here is both the access as well as the inspections themselves. So the majority of the access to the structures can be obtained from existing upland access routes along the right-of-way. However, there are a few locations which will require wetland crossings. So in these areas, National Grid is proposing the use of temporary swamp mats. So this will be placed on top of existing wetland vegetation, and it's a low-impact means of allowing vehicles and equipment to travel across these areas without resulting in any permanent impacts such as rutting or sedimentation. So once the crews reach the structures, the inspections will be performed by excavating the areas directly around the concrete foundations. They'll perform visual inspections, just repair any missing or cracked concrete, and then backfill the area. And it also should be noted that none of these structures are in BVW, so no actual wetland excavation will be required. And all disturbed areas, anything temporary will be restored to the way it currently is now. So that's a brief overview. Are there any questions?
Do you know how long, each one, like, do you put the maps down, you go out, and there's a couple of towers, and I know there's a variety of towers along the way. Do you leave the maps the whole time as you do all the towers, and it's like planned to be done this summer kind of thing, or is it a week, is it several months?
So I think it's scheduled for September, October, that time frame. I think it kind of depends on what they find out there. If they go and there's a lot of concrete repairs that need to be done, obviously that will slow the project down a little bit. But there really isn't too many wetland crossings needed, so I'm thinking that what they're probably going to do is kind of leapfrog with the mats, if that makes sense. So do the crossing as needed, and then move the mats to another location once that area is all set.
So they're bringing the minimum amount of mats necessary to the
Exactly.
area.
Exactly.
Oh, certainly. Great, thank you. There you go. Before I forget.
Pass them down this way,
Oh,
I'll stick them in there. So, really, reason why you're filing is basically to get to the sites, not, like you say, no work is gonna be actually taking place in a buffer zone.
Well, there will, a lot of the structures are in buffer zones, but no BBW impacts.
Okay, so it's only in the buffer zone.
Exactly,
All
exactly.
right.
And when there's excavating, how big of an area are you excavating? I mean, is it like, I don't even know what they look like. Is it like 50 or 100 feet wide or?
I don't expect it to be that big, probably just about 10 feet around, each of the structures, sometimes even less than that. They're not huge foundations, these aren't huge structures or anything,
Okay.
just with each frame.
Are we
It's
concerned with
used around those
runoff?
areas.
In September and October?
So when they excavate, do they excavate and they leave it all out as they're doing the inspection, or do they work their way around where they're sort of filling in every night?
I believe, that's a good question. I believe what they would most likely do, just based on some other projects they've worked on, is excavate the whole area, and then work as needed, stockpile the soil directly adjacent to the area they've just excavated, and then replace it once they're finished.
So, like you mentioned, there's concerns if we
Right,
stockpile a lot.
right. I was like,
How far down do they go? 4 or 5 feet? Is it
Just
where the
about,
footings
yeah.
are?
4 or 5 feet and then 10 feet around.
Yeah, what do we have them do when they put the new towers in? They hay bale everything, right?
Yeah,
That
I
was,
mean-
that was a more lengthy,
this is less obtrusive, I would say, you know. They're pretty much gonna stick with the cement pads that they're sitting on. How many?
How many structures?
Yeah.
I believe it's 7 or 8. Just double check that. It's 9.
How many?
9.
9? And, let's see. So, this starts over by, the substation and goes out, I believe, towards, yeah, it goes,
Bear Hill and,
yeah, it goes up that way, if you look on that
right.
map there. Just so you know where it is.
So that stuff's not bad, 'cause that's pretty flat right there. And
You
this
say
is,
marked where the crossings are on there.
yeah, they did. So that one's not even near it.
If they need repairs, how do
Yeah,
they
right
do the
there.
repairs?
For the concrete?
Yep.
So it should be pretty minor, but I believe like if there's any sort of cracking, they'll just add concrete where needed.
So are they just mixing it up there?
Yes, yeah, I believe so, because
Not bringing in a cement
No,
box?
no, no, yeah, it's
closer
just a
here, so
small
they got
amount,
rid of that.
yeah, and then
So that one's
it's
pretty
a
far
nice
away.
little protected coating. It's really not a huge, not to the same extent as some of the structure replacement, right?
Yeah.
The big
I
one.
was just curious how
Yes,
you would
that's-
do that, yeah.
I'm just thinking like what you were asking about.
Basically, a
Hmm.
patio that'll go out.
Yeah, that's
I
very
don't even
close.
think they do
Is that the concrete?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Honestly,
excavator.
A mini excavator, okay.
Because we've walked this before, I didn't, hey, let's see, what's the blue thing?
So 3 vehicles.
Exactly.
Delineated stream.
And we always typically have
And the
them
green's the 100
use
foot.
swamp maps and those
Mhm.
meadow.
Yes. No,
And it's in the
wetland,
farm,
yeah.
right? So-
it's a wetland line, but that has a dark line through
Yeah,
it.
it must 20 years to recover.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that one's weird, it's really far away.
But that's right there.
So there's 2 towers here that look like they cross right over the stream if we, or like the footings are, 26, what was it?
219.
219 and
216.
216, are we reading it right? Are they actually on? It says a field delineated stream.
219. Are you looking at that blue line?
Mhm.
Right.
Dash? That's actually it indicates the 200 riverfront area.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's not
better.
right on top of the street.
It's like, that's gonna be a hard one. Go look through the other ones. Good. So it starts at the substation, goes
You're not-
there.
Proposing any erosion controls, right?
So typically erosion controls are always with the crews, and especially if they're within buffer zones, they'll just put them between the work location and the wetland, especially if it's on some sort of a steep area or, heavy rains or something like that. We don't actually I don't think we show them in our plans, other than the actual swamp mats themselves, but that's certainly something that grid expects of all its contractors, and, they have to sign off on, environmental compliance documents.
So it's kind of like erosion controls as needed on the site when they're there.
Exactly.
And do they leave them in place, or do they remove them?
They'll be left in place until everything's been stabilized, but then once any disturbed area has been stabilized, usually with mulch or straw, the plastic is cut, the straw is spread out, and then the non-biodegradables are removed.
And when do they anticipate being all complete with everything?
Everything should be wrapped up in October, and it's going on in the towns surrounding Groveland as well, all along the line. So work will, definitely be wrapped up by November.
Okay.
Extend into that period, and you guys have a limitation
We
on that.
restriction,
Yes,
right, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and then we can make sure of that.
Okay. Any more questions from anybody? Yes.
I have a question. Near the Crane Pond, area, is that area gonna be done early because of hunting season starting, October 15th?
That's a good consideration, I don't think they've been aware of yet, but I can bring that up to our national grid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a safety concern. Thank you.
All right. Somebody want to make a motion to close the hearing and accept
Are we voting?
yeah,
So you're voting first?
no,
Closing the hearing?
well, we can combine it into one motion.
All right. So I make a motion to close the meeting for an RDA GRDA work on electric row 394 line at 7:45.
And,
And
um,
approve.
well, in this case, it's an RDA, so we're gonna say it has negative impact.
Has negative impact with conditions, is that what you said?
Yeah, right. Because usually we'll issue the local, a
Mhm.
letter to go along with the local, where we'll put the conditions in that. Okay, is there a second on that?
I second it.
Oh, okay. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain, unanimous. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can I send in the information to HVAC? Sure, do you have a chart?
Number 2 is next.
I wasn't sure who I
Right, sent it to before or anything, so, yeah, or if you have a card.
Sometimes it's international, and they just get lost.
Yeah, sure, great,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
Okay. All right. You ready for the next one?
Do you want me to make a motion to open
Yeah.
it? Make a motion to open the RDA GRDA tank replacement at 908 Salem Street at 7:47.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, okay, unanimous. All right, so this is a, again, request for determination of applicability on some work that is being planned at 908 Salem Street. There's a gas station on the site. Why don't, Rosemary, why don't you tell us what we visited and did there?
Oh, okay, you want me to tell them before?
Yeah,
So what they're planning to do is replacing tanks that are in the front, if you know the little strip mall there. So the tanks are up front, you know where the little gas station is. The tanks are pretty much in front of where the dance area, that little dance place is. The wetlands are out and back, and on the side. So we're.
To the right.
Yeah, yeah. If you're facing it, it's to the left and out back, so that's where the wetlands are. So they're going to be removing hot top, replacing tanks, putting in new tanks, which they're required to do now. And so I have asked them to show me where exactly they're going to be stockpiling any of the spoils from where they're digging everything out when they're replacing the tanks. And then they'll hot top back those later.
Going in the same area?
Correct. They're going back. There's 4 tanks, and it's going down to 2
oh,
tanks.
that's the one, you can give me that.
Which one?
Doesn't matter. One's got the stock.
Oh. I can't make heads or tails of this.
So here's the pizza place.
Oh,
that's
alright.
the dance place, the liquor store, and the convenience store. Here's all the potholes on Stone Street.
I know exactly where they are, yeah. Alright.
Do we have a plot plan that shows where the wetlands are with distances and that kind of
No.
stuff?
The floor is yours.
I'm Louis Diaz, and I'm a contractor. I'm with Comtank, and I'm one of the senior project managers, so we are essentially responding to a mass DEP. The DEP took over the USD program from the state fire marshal, so it used to be handled by the local fire departments, used to handle the storage of and installation of new tanks. So mass DEP since 2015 has a lot, 310 CMR 80, where they said tanks that are metal, single wall, as well as piping, metal single walls will need to be upgraded to fiberglass, non-corrodable material. So that's basically what the upgrade that we're planning to do or proposing to do. So we do these replacements all over the state. So we have, that's what we specialize on. We just checked with Rosemary just because we pull up the plan and we see that on the back, I think the building is approximately 50 feet wide. The tanks are about maybe just 10 feet away from the dance studio. And then you have a small parking space, a parking lot in the back where they keep the dumpsters. So I think we're very close to the 100 buffer zone, but apparently we're within the, just barely within the buffer zone, the 100 feet. So that's what we're here for. I think that the Mohammed's sort of making an effort to comply with the law within 2007. August 7 of 2017 is when their law takes effect, where you can no longer use it as a gas station. You can no longer have steel tanks in the ground that are single wall metal. Tanks were put in, as I said, 1980s, so they're approximately 35 years old. So I think it's an improvement to replace all the tanks. So all the tanks will be, as I said, double wall fiberglass. They'll have sensors in between the 2 walls, and then he'll have a monitoring system to be able to detect premature leak if it goes from the primary containment to the secondary containment, before it impacts the environment. Right now, it's just the tank and then there's the soil. So right now, we'll have a double containment tank as well as the piping will all be double containment, and will be monitored at all times as well. And then he'll have overfill prevention devices, so it's, they sort of looked at anything and everything that could go wrong with a gas station, and they basically passed laws to be able to prevent a release, and that's what we're proposing to do.
How is this project gonna impact the dance studio? I mean, have you talked to them, and I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think the idea is, you do have a small walkway, so
Mhm.
if we were to block, I can kind of show you here.
Okay,
If we were to block in order to conduct the project, somewhere around here, there's a liquor store, I think here, but there is a small walkway that you will have to park somewhere here and then just walk.
okay.
And they're working with all of the other tenants, to make sure that we'll minimize the impact. Obviously, we have to put.
So the parking will be blocked off, but you'll still be able to access them?
You'll still be able to access, there's a railed on the, right up against the
Mhm.
building, and a little sidewalk, walkway, and you can actually park on the other side in front of the liquor store, and then walk to the dance studio.
Okay.
Do the green marks,
Sorry?
green marks.
So, do we know if it's within 100 feet or not, or are
Well,
we guessing?
here's-
Pretty close one.
The 100-foot buffer is like, comes almost to the corner of this part of the building over here. And it's all in the back, it's, goes off in that direction. So I think the concern that we had when we went and looked at it was not so much that there was any planned work in the buffer zone, but that, you know, whenever you're doing an excavation in tight quarters like this, two things, because it's a gas station, you know, if at any time the tanks had leaked, sometimes the excavation could turn out to be larger than you had planned. And second of all, since it's an active site, we wanted to make sure that there was gonna be no soil ending up getting stored in the buffer zone. So those were the two reasons why we asked to see the plans and have the applicant file the RDA. So if you recall, the tank removal that took place at 301 Main Street was kind of a big deal. I think only Tom was on the commission.
Yeah, Tom and Terry. No,
So remember how much of a pain
Yeah,
that,
commentary?
that took them, like,
That was years,
they still haven't finished. They still haven't finished.
yeah.
It's still not done,
So,
because they had leakage.
right.
You know, the tanks were significantly older than this.
And one thing, not to interrupt, these tanks, even though they're single wall metal, which is no longer will be allowed, they are protected. They have a cathodic protection system to prevent the metal from corroding, and they also have some other mechanism to be able to detect a leak with some tank testing equipment installed inside the tank. So that's the reason why he's able to still operate legally now, because he has those. So we don't have any reasons to, obviously, we can't know for certain, but there's no reason to believe based on the ongoing testing. So he has to conduct approximately 3 different type of tests to make sure that all that equipment that is installed is operating properly, and all of that has passed so far, and that information goes to the DEP, they approve it. So far, there's no reason to believe that, so it's not like an abandoned station.
Yep,
Sometimes
right,
those tend to
right.
leak very often.
Right,
If
right.
I ask that really quickly, we've also been contributing to the 21J fund, which is just like an extra insurance policy for patrolling, you know, if it were ever to happen. Since he started, he's been contributing annually to that.
And we pay insurance every year, anything happen under the ground. And my tank especially has small electric arm that go under the ground to make safe everything. The tank is very good condition.
Right.
Will you be doing testing of the soil as
Yes,
you
as
bring
part
it out?
of the tank removal, once the tanks come out, and we'll coordinate that with the local fire. They
Right.
still oversee the removal of the tank, and then we have to do a tank closure report that goes into the DEP. So we'll do have to conduct an environmental assessment prior to putting the new tanks in. So the local fire department will oversee that.
And we're 100% certain the tanks themselves will be beyond the 100 feet?
Yep. The new ones.
The new ones,
Right.
right.
Well, the only concern that I have is, well, what happens if you take the old tanks out and you find leakage and it extends into the buffer zone? What would you do then? File a notice of intent before you move
Yes,
forward?
we can do that. We can file, and I know that it's unlikely, and you know, I have 30 projects where we're doing the same thing, where we're replacing tanks, and often on a tank that is in use,
Yep.
that does not show any signs and everything, it's very unusual where you have contamination that would probably extend beyond maybe 10 feet.
Yep.
In the area where the tank is. So that is always possible, especially around the nozzle, the piping, where they fill it. Sometimes you end up with a couple of yards of contaminated soil, which will then be properly loaded and disposed of it and incinerated, you know, with meeting the DEP regulations now. But I think it's very unlikely that we have an existing station that does pass their monthly test that has a spill that extend probably beyond a few feet around the footprint of the existing excavation.
Yeah, again, that site is not the same as this site. It was an abandoned site, been closed down for quite a while. The tanks were significantly older, and the leakage there, it wasn't extended that far from the tanks, but the whole site just about was within the 100-foot buffer anyway,
Already,
so,
yeah. Okay.
you know, they had to file a notice of intent right from the get-go just to do the removal process.
Can you tell me just a little bit of, what happens with the soil stockpile? It looks like you're putting it in the parking lot. How do you
Yes.
contain it?
Yes, we'll put in 2 layers of plastic at the bottom of the where the stockpile is. Most of the soil, and I drew a small stockpile just in case, because most of the material that we are going to load is going to be live loaded and properly recycled.
Okay.
Because the new tanks require to have a certain type of pea stone to go around them, so
Okay.
you can no longer have that dirt and that material. But in some occasions, let's say we're live loading and we have to excavate a small amount of soil, we'll put 2 layers of plastic, and then we'll put a boom around the stockpile, we'll wrap it in the plastic, and then the soil will go on top, and then we'll cover it if we have to leave it overnight. But the majority of the soil will be excavated, because it's a tight
Put
site.
right into like a dump truck?
Trucks. It's a
Okay.
tight site in the first place, so we'll excavate it, load it, and take it away. And then when the tanks are installed, we have to put a sheet piling and shoring. Once the tanks are installed, we'll just bring new material in.
Okay.
So, I mean, Rosemary, do you agree? I think that we don't have any concern to ask for any kind of erosion controls or markings of the edge of the buffer zone, because it is far enough away.
I would agree, yes, but we will always be going out just to double check on it.
Yeah.
To make sure that there isn't any problems or any erosion that's occurring with anything that you do have to stop.
Okay. Any other questions?
Do we have any abutters?
Any other questions from abutters? Nope. Seeing none, then I guess we're ready for a motion.
Somebody else can do this one.
I make a motion, we approve the plans as submitted with the conditions discussed, and that we close the hearings for the RDA, GRDA tank replacement at 908 Salem Street at 8:01.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Julie?
Great, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, welcome.
Okay.
Number one.
You guys all here for the tree?
Number one.
You're all here for the tree? Wow.
We are. There are no lights.
All right.
Can I open this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I make a motion to open RDA, GRDA tree removal at Whitestone Village at 8:03 PM. Motion?
Second it.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, okay. Hearing's open. Give me those things
Right.
to put back in here.
He wrote on his.
That's all right.
He drew in the parking. Love that. Like, how do you know what's there?
I'll put little, like, smiley face.
All right, so. Let's see, that goes there. Okay. Who's here from Whitestone? You're here to talk about it?
I'm here to listen.
Oh, okay. Who's here to explain what's going on there?
Who's the representative?
Well, we can explain it, but I mean, we're looking for what you're gonna guide us to do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can explain what's going on there.
Okay. We'll tell you, why don't you tell us, and then Rosemary will tell us about what we've seen over there, so you can go
Okay, great.
first.
So we, abutters Baldwin Terrace, and there was a pine tree that I believe it was probably the last 20 feet or so of the top of it that broke off and fell onto a residence fence and into their property. And so when it came time to figure out what we wanted to do, we had our tree people from Iron Tree come over, but because it's conservation, we needed to come to you to get direction. I know, are you the resident?
Yes.
Okay, so I know, she had thought about other trees that are there, but didn't break off, I didn't fall, about maybe they should be taken care of also. So we're not here to, fight any of this. What we need to know is what you folks think about taking down one tree, two trees, or as many as you would like to have done, because it is conservation area.
Yep,
Does
right.
that make sense?
Yep.
Thank you.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Rosemary?
Do you have a map?
Well,
What did we
yeah,
see when we were out
Yeah,
there?
when we were there, it was pouring rain,
Yeah, that's right.
and not a nice day,
No.
right? But yes, the tree fell on the fence,
There's
kind of
actually-
destroyed it.
Two separate trees
Yeah.
that have fallen on our fence. One was a smaller tree, which just kind of dented the top of the fence, but one was a significant, large piece of a tree that has significantly damaged the fence and is hanging over into our backyard currently.
Mm.
I have two young children that I am concerned for their safety. And, the trees that we had in question that were concerned, we'll call white pine trees, that aren't rooted very strongly into the ground. And I'm just concerned for my children's safety that if they were out playing and there was strong winds or some other type of weather that were to cause them to fall, and I don't want anyone to get hurt, is my main concern.
Yep.
So,
So, how many trees would you like taken down besides the two that fell?
so besides the two that fell, there was two other trees
two other trees you'd
Yes.
like removed?
Yes.
And those are both white pine too, right?
They are right, white.
And where is it in relation to
Yeah.
the wetlands? I mean, like, is it
Baldwin,
in-
it's
Yeah.
also Baldwin, but the wetlands are behind.
Right.
So like how many,
They're on the edge of the buffer. They're probably close to 75 to 100 feet range away.
So it's very similar to what, I wanna say Savory Lane, the one off of Salem Street, where they had to lift the trees over the house?
we
Meaning they
also did
were,
it on Washington,
pardon?
Arthur. On
So
Washington Street.
the iron
He had
tree,
one taken down.
company said they would just climb them and cut them and push them back.
Right, no, I was just thinking the proximity, I mean, we, in general, we're
So there wouldn't
Pretty-
be any like.
Pretty lenient with
pretty
that,
lenient
yeah.
about,
Right.
Right.
you know, when it's near a house and it's falling on a house or fence or whatnot.
Yeah.
They're gonna leave them on the other side of the,
And they're
of
not,
the
the
fence.
trucks
Right.
can't go in there,
Right.
No,
So-
there wouldn't be any. They
Right.
just said they would just climb them and cut them.
right,
And push them into
Right.
the conservation land.
right. So it's a pretty straightforward thing. I mean, it's really a matter, obviously, the trees that already broke, you know, that's fine that they can cut the rest of them down, but it's, you know, the two other trees, they're white pine, they're similar to the ones up at Town Forest that are,
Keep falling over.
yeah, you know, they're not, the greatest tree for a long life. So, you know, I, having gone there, I'd say to take two more down wouldn't be unreasonable.
Are you all from the condo association?
We're on the board of trustees. I'm Michael Lunt. I'm at 1004 Alyssa Drive.
I'm Janet Nolan at 204 Diane Circle.
Thank you.
Questions? Yeah.
Yes, I live in Baldwin Terrace, and I'm confused, I don't even know where you're really talking about.
I live at 16 Baldwin Terrace.
Are you
You
good?
want our street? Yes. Hi, neighbor. We just bought, the house back in December. Yeah.
Okay, so so the tree that fell on your property from,
It did.
oh,
Yeah.
From her backyard,
Yeah.
back over the fence
Yeah.
is Whitestone property, it's conservation
oh, it is,
property. So
okay.
it fell onto her property and broke the fence.
I didn't even know there was a pond there, I just came across it.
Yeah, I'm a neighbor too, and those trees are dangerous. The pieces come out of there all the time, you know, right where the pool is and right where the kids are playing. So I think it's great to take those down. And, I had a question about, at the time when Whitestone was built, they were supposed to deed that strip over to conservation. Was that ever done?
No, the selectmen refused it because they didn't want to take it off the tax rolls. Selectmen at the time, none of which are in place anymore. We had an agreement that the developer was going to give it to the town under conservation control, but unfortunately, the selectmen wouldn't let us do it. So that's why the condo association at Whitestone is still in control of it.
So is that something that could be asked about again? If we decided to do that?
Yes, and now that we know about donations, I don't even see how the selectmen were able to say no to that.
No, cause there's all types of, water, shed right there.
Yeah,
So it'd be a great conservation land.
yeah.
Owned by the conservation.
I'm new there, I've only been there since October also, and I asked EP management, why do we even have all that land over there? It's not, we're not gonna do anything with it.
Yeah,
If it's better off in your hands, why not, right?
yes. Except in this case, maybe. Because we would be paying for the trees to be taken down. But I would say to your board to come back to us with a specific proposal. You know, you want to donate this to the Conservation Commission as conservation property, and, you know, write us a letter to that effect, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, we'll ask them to do that at the next meeting next week.
Yep.
So as it stands right now, you can't build it in that area, right?
Yeah, nothing will ever be built there anyway, because because there's a buffer zone that's in there, wetland buffer and stuff. So that area was never going to be built upon. That's why the developer was gonna give it to the town, but unfortunately, at the time, the selectmen wouldn't let us do it.
So I guess.
Yep.
To move forward with this one,
Yes.
I mean, how do we you say there's 4 trees now, the 2 broken
And
and
2
2
others.
more.
Yep.
Do we have to somehow mark them, or is it, I haven't seen the area, so I don't know are those the only 4 big white pines in that area, or they're the closest ones?
It's the closest ones to the yard of the abutter. So,
I think,
We could ask
She
Iron
knows
Tree to
and
mark
Iron
them
Tree
when we go
knows.
out.
yeah,
you were the one who were
Yes.
concerned with those trees,
Yes.
so she knows which trees they are, and Iron Tree knows which trees
Yep.
they are.
Right,
right,
Yeah.
right.
And there is, documentation too, like, I think
I was out there.
you
Yeah,
were out
I
there, but there
was.
was pictures taken as well, I believe.
Unless
From-
Iron Tree did, but
I
I
thought
did not.
that,
I think
somebody
Iron
from
Tree did.
your, oh, okay, so
Yeah.
maybe Iron Tree, but I thought there was a maintenance person that came out to take it for Whitestone.
don't
That was,
think so.
that was
I
under
don't-
my impression.
I haven't seen any pictures, if anyone took them, it would have been Iron Tree, I think,
Okay,
but we'll find out
Okay.
next Wednesday.
Okay, so, is somebody ready to make a motion, close the hearing, and make a motion on this one?
just ask one more question.
Yes,
Who should this letter be addressed to?
oh, address it, you can just address it to me,
Okay.
Michael Dempsey,
Mhm.
DEMPSEY, and send it here, 183 Main Street.
Thank you.
Okay, so do we have a motion on this? Yes.
I make a motion to approve and close out the hearing for the RDA, GRDA tree removal at Whitestone Village,
Okay,
At
and
8:15.
approve removal of 4 trees total, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I said that.
Oh, you did?
No,
But it'll look,
she writing it down.
it'll look that way.
Is there a second on that? Any
You haven't said
questions?
anything all night.
Are we gonna require a verification of which trees? Are we that
I'm not
usually we're
worried about it.
too concerned for
They're
this.
Okay.
Plus,
are you-
they went out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike and I were there.
We've seen it.
And we talked to the guy from Iron Tree, and he pointed out the trees, as did the property owner.
Okay,
And so we said, yes, we understand that those are the trees that need to come. They're
Okay.
closest to her fence.
okay, I still want another,
Like,
yeah, like that other property.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain. Unanimous. Okay,
Thank you very much.
sure, thank you.
Thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
So you'll get a form from us that says, you know, you don't have to wait.
Okay.
I would get the trees taken out as soon as possible.
Because they're,
Yeah, right, but the board will get a form from us that just shows that we went through this process and we agreed
Does that
to
go
it.
to the management company? down
Yeah,
the road?
yeah.
It goes to them.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thanks.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, so, number 4, the GRDA, oh, sorry, 4. Number 3, the GRDA for roadway infrastructure at 4 to 41 Main Street was withdrawn today by the applicant. So,
Why does that typically happen?
they changed their plans.
Oh, okay.
So, we won't do that one.
Do we know if they're coming back or? have
No, I
idea,
don't
or-
think so.
Okay.
Not with this anyway. We don't know what they're doing. This was done. And, let's see.
Next one's not until 8:30.
Okay, so our next hearing, we can't start until about 8:30, which is the notice of intent on the weed removal and boat launch proposal for Johnson's Pond. So we'll start that at 8:30, open that up at 8:30, but until then, we can get rid of some of this other business that I've got on here that isn't necessarily big deals. And some of it's not on the agenda, it's old business. So, let's see, the minutes, we won't vote on tonight, but if you've got any changes to them, just write it on there, we can have, Julie fix them if there's anything else on there. And, let's see, Jay Ogden had a request to change. You recall the 35 Wood Street, you know, the new single-family home that he is building on the right side of Wood Street that we
Mhm.
approved, I think in May. Rosemary, he said that he dropped a large copy of the plan in the, underneath the door. I have a smaller copy of it, but this is what he says. Let me read this to you, and we kind of need to make a decision here. He says, we reshaped and resized the septic field and flipped the house, bringing the garage portion almost completely out of the buffer zone. This also brought the corner of the house a foot or two further from the 75-foot line. We made no changes to the erosion control line, and the amount or extent of grading remains essentially the same.
I remember this one.
So, he wants to know if we're gonna require him to refile, or at least ask for an amendment.
Do we have the old plan?
Oh, yeah, take a look at this. We have the old plan. Well,
Or has somebody looked at it yet, is exactly,
Did
you
you,
know, or
you didn't grab the old plan file?
So, what the heck is this thing? That's 100 foot. So now it's going through the center of the house instead of the garage? What?
Yeah, no, I think he was always within 100 feet, that's why I wanna look at the old plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah. But no. That's the 100.
And the
foot,
reason
that's
he
the-
couldn't go over
that's
here was
the
because the
same
septic
size.
was here,
Yeah,
and
right.
that, so it was sort of, what do you call it?
So he did a pretty good job of staying out of the 100-foot buffer. That very corner there and then that portion of the
And then,
house.
and then that half of the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the way it was before.
right, it was
a
the
little bit
garage.
over this way.
Mm.
We'll see what the old plan looked
But
like.
it was just, I thought it was just a small part of the garage before.
I thought it was too, and like
That's-
the entire deck.
It
Before.
seems to me like the whole thing shifted down a little bit, but.
Well, that's why we gotta look at the old
the
plan.
old one.
Mm.
Or is it just catching the corner of the 75 before?
Oh, right, it could have been that. Our memories are bad.
I'm thinking maybe it was the 75 that was going into the garage, because he really doesn't have that.
Have we got a couple of those, so we can,
Oh, okay. So it was actually both. It was both of them in the 100.
Yeah, so
A little bit of that, the garage.
So the overall
Yeah.
building though is in.
So, it, yeah,
So
so
the 75.
it was the
It
75.
looks-
that
really
was going
different.
in
Right.
the whole- So, yeah.
Which
so
just looks
it's
different
actually-
because this
so
is
you see the way it
rectangle
is
versus
now,
this way.
it's not much different. You know, you got the house over here, and maybe a little bit part of the, less of the house is in
Right,
the
well, still in the same
75-foot
spot.
buffer as compared to the whole garage just about being in there.
So as a newbie.
It looks like it's
question,
closer
Yeah.
here to that corner.
I understand garage.
Than it was there.
Gas, oil, whatever possible. What's the relative advantage or disadvantage of having half a house now in there? Is that more potentially damaging than?
What is the
No,
reserve
all it
area
is
for?
there's
Just
less
like
square
Some of them
footage
fail, so
of
they
a
have a spot.
building within the
Oh,
buffer
okay.
zone.
So they're not
That's all
actually
it is.
putting
That's all it
anything
is.
there.
Correct.
You know, he
But
pulled it
that would
out a
be-
little bit. He was able
Woo,
to pull it
much
out a little
closer.
bit
Well,
more.
And then,
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, that's good that he wants to do it. The only question is it a significant enough change that we want to have
Yeah, I
him
mean,
file for
they
an
do 'em all the
amendment?
time. When the house is completely in the zone. I don't think anything else looks any different.
I don't have an issue with it.
I like that it's further away from the 75 over there.
I mean, yeah, he's 1 foot further away.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
right. So you think that we can just say, that
Yes.
looks good?
I mean, I think the overall, the size and the overall position of the entire structure isn't that much different.
Yep,
So it's not like he increased the structure.
no,
He
right.
was always going below the 100 foot, but he was staying out of the 75, and he's doing the same, he's a little bit further away, so.
Right.
I don't have an issue myself.
I don't have an issue.
Well, yeah.
I don't think it's, you know, that significant
It looks
a
like the same
change,
structure.
right.
yeah.
And it's actually an improvement, you know, so there's less square footage in the buffer zone, so I would say, you know, on top of it being a minor change, it's also a good minor change, so, so that's fine, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. All right?
You gonna vote on it, or?
No, we don't need to take a vote on it, because we're not
We're
gonna
not opening.
change anything.
Yeah.
Just put that plan in the folder.
Yep.
Does that one have a new date, I assume? 6/4, change to 4 bedroom. 6/4/17.
4/8. Yeah, so that's.
Okay, one more thing before we have the other hearing. Some updates on the Johnson's Pond stuff. If you recall, I don't know if I told you this last time. You know, we did have two projects approved, one for Johnson's Pond and then one for the planning portion of Johnson's Creek. And also, Jim Manganiello has done a lot of work with Senator Tarr, and it looks like we may get another maybe $70,000 more to put towards the weed removal project, and also money for putting boulders along Center Street and doing some other naturalization of the shoreline and that whole area. If it gets approved by the state budget, which we should know pretty soon. So far, I keep hearing that we haven't been cut, so that's a good thing. So, if that all goes through, then we'll be able to take about $50,000 of that and add it to the CPA funds, and we'll be able to actually use that to do the weed removal, which we're gonna talk about in 5 minutes. But we'll also be able to do more planning, both on the pond and on the creek, because I had kind of cut back on the planning end. But we'll actually have enough money to put a full plan in place, all of the plan phases that added to the plan that the highway department did phase 1, then there were like 4 other things, and I only was able to put 3 of them with CPA funds. So we'd actually have enough money to do that entire plan, which is a good thing. So that's what's going on with Johnson's Pond and the whole thing. Jim Manganiello has been very helpful in getting that added in. He's done a lot. He and I went to visit Senator Tarr. We didn't get to talk to Senator Tarr that day, but we went to his office and talked to his aides, and that's pretty much what I've done, and he's done the rest of it. Like, he calls them like 2 or 3 times a week. So it's pretty good. So that's what's going on with Johnson's Pond.
Is there any update on 194 Main Street?
No. So we are waiting to see filings for 3 areas. One is 194 Main Street, right across the street. We've asked them to file, the planning board has asked them to file with us. We haven't seen anything. We're waiting on a notice of intent from Billis Way, the development that's next to the cemetery on Main Street. And there's also a proposal for some houses on Center Street across from the highway garage over there and Dunn Landscaping. But that's in planning still, so I don't know when we may not even see that this year. But those are the 3 big things that are out there on our radar screen, so hopefully they'll be coming in soon with those, if they're gonna do anything.
We had talked last year at the Lower Center Street, the area, about adding in a recycling bin. Denise had said that the contractor shouldn't have an issue picking that up.
Okay, yep.
Can we get one? And I guess, because the barrels are actually chained to a post or something?
No, they're not.
They're not.
No. But there's one trash can there.
Okay, so does it, do we still feel that it's worth it to get like a barrel that just has a, you know, the recycling ones where they have the little opening at the top and they say like glass and cans only or something like that? Or do we think, do we wanna try it, or are we afraid it's just gonna start to dump more trash, or what does everybody think?
I don't think that they're gonna obey that, cause they're not really obeying the trash barrel law. You know, that tires go in there and everything else goes in there, so I don't,
Try to
I
get a
don't see them-
refrigerator in there?
yeah, I don't see them actually recycling stuff, but if you had one maybe that limited what was put in there, it might work. I don't know. You're not supposed to put like dirty, like McDonald's cups in there and
No, I
stuff
know,
like
I
that.
mean, well, I just bring it up because we had talked about it last year,
Yeah,
and then we didn't, you know, we were like, well, in the wintertime, you know, not many people are there.
Cans and bottles.
Um,
is that something that they
I
would pick up? They would
Yeah,
take the lid
supposedly.
off and then,
Yep,
oh, okay.
well, right.
Cause what we
So it's not
currently
like
have
a-
is a box that you put your recycling in
Yeah,
and they
right.
just wing it in.
Why don't we have Rosemary look into what's possible? Because we actually, may be able to use some of our leftover expense money to buy something like that, so. And then we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have a good point, like, even if the guys pick it up, they're not gonna put the cap back on. They're gonna throw the lid and they're gonna throw the barrel.
That's what they do with my barrel. It's like wing.
It's almost like we need the, you know, if the highway department would go by and like throw the lid back on every once a week or something, but that's not gonna happen.
Okay. So, somebody wanna make a motion to open up this next hearing?
You wanna do it?
I'll do it. I make a motion to open the hearing for the NOI, GNOI weed removal and boat launch at Johnson's Pond, 201 Washington Street at 8:37.
Did you say Washington Street, not Center Street?
This is
Johnson's
Washington,
Pond,
this is Washington Street.
it's only Washington Street.
No, it's the whole pond, but
Whole
the,
pond,
we just gave the address.
Center Street is a, also.
Yeah, we just gave the address.
More so in Groveland, as far as boats are concerned.
We just gave the address of being VZ Park, but it's the whole pond.
Oh,
I don't think you
Yep,
saw
thank
that.
you.
All right. So, this is a somewhat unusual notice of intent because we're filing this with ourselves. So I will give you a little idea of what we're doing
made a
here.
motion and a second.
Oh, we didn't vote on it?
No,
Sorry about that. All in favor of opening the hearing, say aye.
aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Now it's official.
Yes. All right. So this is a project that will accomplish two things. There's two goals here, and one is to remove the weeds in about an 8-acre portion of the pond. And then the second goal of the project is to improve the boat launch that's located at the bottom of VZ Park Hill, at the end of Johnson's Pond. So, we filed this notice of intent because we are taking, matter out of the pond, and we are also going to do some work on the shore there as far as stabilizing and improving the shoreline right at where the boat launch is. And we also filed this with Boxford, because Boxford owns about 25 acres of the pond too. Most of it's in Groveland, but maybe about 25% of the pond is in Boxford. So tomorrow night, it's also gonna be a hearing in front of the Boxford Conservation Commission. So as far as the weed removal, there are about 8 acres of water lilies that are growing wildly, increasing each year, starting to really choke the less deep sections of the pond, which are about 7 acres from Washington Street out to the middle of the pond. And it's not really the middle, but there's an inlet there. And then some other parts of the shoreline off of Center Street also have some that need to be removed. So let me see, I think I've got a map here. Oh, I got that.
Excuse me, will we be open to be able to speak in regards to this
Yeah, you can,
at a certain time, or?
yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'll give some time for that in
Thank
a
you, Mike.
minute. I just want to finish my little narrative here. Okay, so you can, here's what we're talking about then. Okay, and the work is gonna be done by hydro raking, which is a boat. It's kind of like a back loader on a boat. It floats on the water, and it's got a backhoe arm that pulls out all the plant matter, puts it on the boat, and then the boat comes back to the shore. They take it off, de-water it, and then they put it in a dump truck and take it away. So it isn't dredging, and it involves no chemicals in the water. We did get some other proposals which would have been completely chemical, done by chemical, chemical de-weeding, or it's, what's that stuff you use on your lawn to get rid of?
Roundup.
Roundup, right, that was it, Roundup. Put Roundup, spray it on the water lilies, and they would die and sink to the bottom.
And kill the fish.
Yeah, supposedly,
And the turtles.
yes, but according to
And
You
everything
know,
else that's on there.
the people that sell Monsanto, the stuff degrades in like 3 days and it's gone, you know. But I didn't think that was a good idea.
I don't think it is either.
No.
You buy it, it says don't use the water, ponds. It says
Right.
don't do it.
So this is a more expensive way of doing it, but I think that it's more ecologically sustainable. Here's,
So you're gonna kill the fish, the turtles, the beaver, and all the other animals that
Right.
are there.
right, but we'd have a clean pond. There just
This is
wouldn't be
interesting.
anything alive
Because
in
you're
it.
gonna be killing an awful lot of animals.
Oh, I know, right?
Including the deer, I mean, there's, they drink from there,
Yep,
foxes, quite a bit of.
Right.
Quite a few animals there.
Could I,
Sorry for interrupting.
could
No,
I
that's
start
okay.
a different alternative, something like another option? You mentioned the chemicals that you use. You talked about Roundup.
yep,
I sent an email a couple years ago regarding, I live across from Johnson's Pond, I live on Coleman Ave.
yep,
That's a company, my friend has a pond, a large pond in his front yard in Lexington, and he uses that. It's safe for the animals, the fish, the wildlife, and it basically, wipes out the lilies.
yeah,
And they sink to the bottom,
You look into it.
and it clears it. If you do the dredging, which I'm sure we'll probably wind up doing, what I feel is because of all the fertilizers that people use in
Yes.
their lawns,
yes.
it's gonna happen again.
Well, it
So
could,
this
yeah,
might be something that you could use like on a
ongoing
bi-weekly
basis, yep,
It's fairly inexpensive. I mean,
Yeah.
It's very cheap,
yeah.
so that's just something I wanna look at.
Thank
I
you.
purposely myself do not use anything that will contaminate
Right,
the pond. As you know where I live, Michael.
right,
I'm on the pond,
Right.
45 feet from it. And it's gonna, did somebody raise the
yes,
water? And I understand in the process of raising it like 2 feet, they were hoping the sun wouldn't hit the plants so they wouldn't be able to grow. That's what I understood.
yes,
Forget it. Okay? Not only that, but I almost had to have a canoe to go to my house.
really?
Yes, another 6 inches. You know,
Okay,
I knew something was wrong, and then I finally had to confirm that the water has been, you raised it on purpose, 2 feet. And
we
that 2
raised it a
feet-
foot and a half.
Well, a foot and a half, and that foot and a half,
Okay, so that made a difference.
6 to 4 inches, and it'd be on my house.
All right.
And so that scared the living hell out of me
Did
this
you-
past winter.
Did you talk to the highway department?
I have not talked to anyone yet, because I know I went to Haverhill, because I understood Haverhill, I came here, I seen the conservation department, I remember a while back, and they said, it's out of our hands, it's Haverhill's water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to Haverhill, and they said they would look into it. And he would notify the state, because the state would have to pay a certain percentage, and we would pay a certain percentage also. I heard nothing, okay? Incidentally, Johnson's Pond is 220 acres of water. That's the size of it, 220 acres.
Okay,
You will find that it's more than 8 acres. I don't know if anybody here kayaks or has an electric motor, a boat that you go fishing with. Forever, you see the guys out there trying to fish. The only time they catch fish is at ice time, when it's the houses are out there.
Yeah.
Because the weeds are going around the electric motors, they're forever cleaning off the weeds. And the lily pads, especially the lily
Yep.
pads.
yeah,
And if you go out there, you can look down and you can see that growing like crazy all over. It's not
Mm.
just 8 acres.
yeah,
Not just 8, it's the whole, we're gonna be going more than 8 acres, I'll
Mm.
tell you.
well,
I wish you went out there to see it. I should have brought some pictures. I should have taken some pictures and brought some pictures in. But I was hoping that one of you people, ladies and gentlemen, had a kayak and would go out there and really see the mess.
yeah,
It's it, because the fishermen have a hell of a time, not only getting out there, but the weeds get caught in the electric motor.
yeah, right. So this is kind of like a pilot project. We want to see, by removing the most obvious amount of the weeds, to see, what the effect is. The other thing that we wanted to do was raise the level of the pond. So right now,
You're gonna kill me.
no, I don't think we'll raise it anymore. I want to come to your house and see.
Yeah.
I want you to show me what the 6 inches did.
Yeah.
Because right now, the highway department took it down 6 inches. So it's only a foot higher than it had been. It had been at that level for 5 years. He took all the stops out of the flow control device. The water dropped a foot and a half down,
In fact,
and
last
he
year it was
left
really
it
down.
that, he left it that way
Yeah.
for 5 years.
Yeah.
And during those 5 years, is when the water lilies have come over and just grown like crazy. So I'm hoping that by raising the water back up at least a foot anyway, that will minimize the ability for them to grow in the,
As long as the sun hits them, the only way I can think of is putting like a big top over the water.
Yeah.
Now the sun can't hit so they can't grow.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as long as the sun hits the weeds, the lily
Right.
pads, they're gonna grow, whether it's
Right.
2 feet, 4 feet. And they've grown every year since I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been here since 1976.
yeah. But they're worse than ever now.
Oh, are they ever?
Yeah,
Are they ever? They really, really are. I feel sorry for those fishermen trying to get out there.
yeah,
As well as Center Street, because there's a boat ramp
yeah,
on Center Street also.
yeah.
Mike, when
Yeah.
they do the study for the whole Johnson's Creek and that whole area, are
Yes.
they gonna, I assume they're gonna go back historically, or go back to historic records and say, here's where the level was
Yep.
from so many years and whatnot,
Yes,
to see because I know that the past Meadow Pond and then further down, there's that other, I don't even know if it has a name, that pond
yeah,
behind.
Meadow Pond
And then the one after that where,
Yeah,
the-
Mill
you know,
Pond.
it's Mill Pond,
Mill
right, it's getting
Pond.
silted up and all that
Yep.
sort of stuff, so.
Yep.
Okay, so that'll be.
yeah,
part of
that's
that
all
pro-
part of that study.
okay.
Another part of the study is to do water quality measurements starting on Johnson's Pond. So what they're gonna do is try to determine, you know, the water quality, what's in there, what's coming in from Haverhill. There's alleged that there's lead and mercury coming in from Haverhill, but that's only alleged, so I don't know. But that's one of the things that we're gonna be looking at to see. And the other thing they'll be able to tell us is the problem in Johnson's Pond due to, you know, what is it? Is it the depth? Is it too much nitrogen and phosphorus in there? Perhaps, you know, from septic systems or other, you know, people fertilizing, you know.
I think there's only 4 houses on the pond.
Yeah, there's not a lot of residential
One.
properties.
The rest are on Center Street.
Yeah, right. So it's hard to really tell, you know, what is the cause of the problem.
Well, it could be from Coleman Road. too,
Yeah.
Because it's a hill.
Yeah, it all
And then it
comes
goes
down,
down.
right.
And
Right.
there's, across from Johnson's Pond is, I don't know what the name of the pond is, the waterway that's.
That's where the water comes from,
on
into
Jack
Johnson's
Road.
Pond. Yeah,
Yeah,
the water
there are
goes,
houses
and,
there.
and,
Yeah.
and the culvert is completely rusted out. I went for the, Washington Street to cave in. One of these days, a big heavy truck is gonna go and all of a sudden sink, because the culvert it's falling apart. You can see what it is, one side's already actually fall off,
Yeah,
the culvert, and, you know, the culvert's this big.
yeah. Yeah, so the highway department, I think, knows about some of that stuff.
I
Okay.
mentioned it.
Any other questions from commissioners?
So how long does the hydro raking take about, like, are they out there for a couple of days or weeks? or-
No, it'll probably be about 3 weeks.
Okay.
About, you know, it's like, I think they said, it's in the range of 21 work days. So that would even be, you know, that even might be a month.
And they do it according to, they're basically following a line, like we're gonna
Yes.
do, they may comment on what still is growing there, but they're not gonna go any further.
Yeah,
under
they're
this
going
contract.
to, when they actually do the work, they're gonna take like an aerial view and they're gonna show us exactly what they're taking out.
Okay.
So we will know what we're getting. And,
Do you know when you'll be taking these aerial views?
sometime this summer, probably after July 1,
Good, that's good.
because we can't hire them until after July 1 anyway, so.
And when they rake, do they like block off, cause I assume they're gonna stir up a bunch of sediment on the bottom? Do they block off the runoff in the middle pond, and we give it a little while to settle, or do they just let it all flow through, or?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think that they, you know, it's not dredging,
Right.
so I don't know exactly the approach, but
It's muck.
yeah, but I don't think that they're gonna take that up. They mostly are grabbing at the plant and pulling it up
Sort of pulling
from
it
the
from the
top
roots.
up rather than digging down into the
So
bottom.
if they're not taking it out at the root, how quickly is that gonna grow back?
Well, they do. I mean, it clears it out. I can't explain it to you completely.
Did they say like how, like, it clears it out based on their other customers?
Well, what
Years or
they say is that typically you could do this and then in the future years, treat it chemically or do it again to do anything that, you know, small parts that grew back. So with the added state money, you know, again, we would be able to do a little bit more work than we had originally intended to do. So we could potentially do some follow-up in the second year if there were areas that required it.
I just, have an issue with spending that much money to temporarily remove something. It sounds like it's gonna be ongoing maintenance.
Well, I don't know. We don't really know. That's the thing, and I don't think we don't really know until we try to do it. And nobody's gonna do this, except us.
Right.
Unless we try this, it's just gonna continue to get worse and worse. So, yeah, I mean, it is a lot of money to spend. It would be cheaper to do it using chemicals. We don't wanna do that. So, in order to do it, it's gonna require more money and proof that it can be accomplished. And hopefully, with the water quality measurements, looking at future limitations of phosphorus and nitrogen in the pond and ways to do that, raising the level of the pond a little bit, combined will help prevent the huge amount from growing back the way it is.
Michael, one of the ways to raise money, when you go down there any Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah.
the place is loaded with boats. And I was thinking that, I don't know what towns they come from, but they come from around not just Groveland, because it's bass in the pond. If they were to pay an X amount of dollars to use the pond for the year, in other words,
A permit.
a permit for a yearly permit
Yeah.
and I would think that would help
You'd be in charge of
to, and instead of putting the burden on everybody in Groveland,
Right.
who doesn't even go there,
Right.
it's like me paying for kids going to school. I don't have no kids in school in Groveland, so I have to pay the taxes. $8,000.
I appreciate that.
That's yearly, but,
That's
I was
something,
thinking of that.
yep, that's
could say that.
something to consider, that's for sure.
Shut it down.
Oh, that would-
So can we, if we approve the hydro raking, Mike, can we look at what the gentleman brought for the,
Yeah.
perhaps a chemical
Right.
maintenance
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever it is
definitely.
for follow-on years?
It's chemically safe too, it's
Yeah.
not like it's poisonous. I guess the company's been in business since 1956 or 65, I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly.
See, I can bring this up with the lake management company that's gonna do this, because they're gonna be looking at the whole water quality stuff and everything else, so. Pass those maps down this way, just so that,
So the second part, or I don't wanna say the second part, but the boat launch improvements.
Fred saw these, okay.
um,
Say that
like
again?
The boat launch improvements.
Yes.
The idea is what we've been talking about for years now, is just try to make that a little bit more user-friendly.
Yes.
And perhaps, and we had discussed things in the past about having more of a, not a deck, but
Replacing the wood that's there.
like a float thing. So it's really obvious that's, here's where you launch your boat. Kind of
Yes.
stuff. So that-
Yes, because, see, that's gonna be the staging area for the project, so once they're done with the lily removal, then we've got to restabilize the shore there and put more plantings back on the shore and probably some riprap or gravel,
Yeah.
and perhaps some other means to launch a canoe or something there.
I'm thinking if we could put just a very small deck,
Deck.
walkway,
Yeah.
dock, whatever you wanna call
Yeah.
it. Just so people aren't always walking in the mud, cause then they're destroying all that stuff anyways, and then it just
Right.
stays mud.
Right.
But,
It's hard to tell, cause it's depending upon the depth, but I think
Right.
something is possible there.
It's no more than 20 feet, I don't think.
No, I know, it isn't.
No, but even, he means like a boardwalk from the street to the water.
Where do you see the 6-foot snakes that are in there?
Jeez.
Yeah, black snakes, you see them.
Really?
So that's why I'm
maybe
staying away
go
from
away
the
with the
water.
Lloyd test.
Yeah. Somebody might wanna tell the hydro rakers about those.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. What else was I gonna say about the launch? Yeah, and so what we want to do is try to make that the main launch site for the pond,
What?
Right.
at the bottom of Easy Park.
Oh,
So right now, we have people who are chaining their canoes. There's at least 6 canoes chained to trees along the shore of Easy Park, along the shore of the pond, every year. But this is the most we've ever had. There's 6 or 7 of them, right? How many did we see?
I think we saw 6,
Yeah.
there were 4
There's-
in one location.
Yeah,
There's a
Quite a
bunch
few
of
people
stuff
out there
that,
besides the Sundays.
yeah, but these people are chaining their canoes to the tree, you know, in a public
boat
area.
cutters.
Yeah, well, right. It's like, we don't have the time to do this, but, you know, what I'm hoping is that if we purchased a canoe rack, they're not that expensive, and we put it somewhere near this boat launch area, whether we put it in the parking lot or over there where the sign
Where
is.
they're already storing their,
Yes,
yeah,
right.
that's a good idea.
Michael, I wanna say the one on Center Street is a bigger area, and you can walk right down to the water.
Yeah, we
A
have
lot
a,
of people would launch there, then instead of.
we have a problem over there.
Do you?
Yeah, so we're trying to minimize boat launches on
Oh.
that side.
The problem
Yeah,
is
most
they
of
go
all, it's nice
in
stuff from,
all
Center Street.
different areas. They're not
Yeah.
just using one
Right.
entry. So that's why there's 100 boulders, because they're going, you know, on that bend where you can
Yeah.
barely get one car through, and then further down, and then in through the trees.
They come right down to my driveway.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, oh, they do.
You must be like, hello, can I help you?
Yeah. I
You
get
seem
to
like a
go
pretty
out.
social
Yeah,
guy.
I thought I had to give it up and say, you know, please. And we try to be nice to people. So, look, and it got to the point where I just, I can't do it anymore. I just can't. And now, cause I'm always cleaning the pond up, beer cans and
Oh,
bottles. Cause
right.
they, you know, they're drinking out there, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what, you know, everything floats to my side. Cause the wind blows in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, from the
Yeah.
west to the east. And the wind is constantly blowing, so I get all these things I have to pick up, trash. It's constant.
Need a trash barrel down there.
I love doing
So
that.
so what is the vote on this?
Yeah.
Is to-
All right, I'm just making notes here on the questions.
The new houses on top of the hill, they all have new septic systems. The person across the street from me, he just put in a brand new septic system. Gorski, I assume, has
Yeah.
a new septic system.
Yeah.
Mine has a brand new septic
Yeah,
system.
right.
So, I think all you gotta check is Center Street.
Okay, any other comments, questions from commissioners? All right, somebody wanna make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion. I make a motion, we approve the, what is it, the NOI, GNOI weed removal and boat launch, at Johnson's Pond, 201 Washington Street, as described, in the project narrative and as discussed tonight. And that we will investigate some of these other options for future maintenance, opportunities.
Would anybody like some turtle eggs? They come up to my, they get a hole and they lay their eggs. I must have 15 turtles come up, and they lay their eggs. They're doing it now, I had 2 of them today. So,
I'll
snapping turtles.
second the motion.
Second,
And then Michael, if you wanna come down, you know where I live. I assume you have my telephone number. I'm right next to DC Park.
okay. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain?
Not happy about the
Unanimous.
removal.
Thank you for coming.
I thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for this opportunity
Yeah,
to do something with that pond, 'cause that pond is dying.
yes,
It is dying. Okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
for
you.
the, information.
If you wonder who I am,
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Here's your minutes, Mike.
Okay.
No changes.
Minutes, no changes. Nobody had any changes.
I know, I didn't find any. Terry's not here.
Beyond my 20 minutes.
Wow, it's been a year already.
Pat, you
Yeah.
can pass that down to Rosemary, so she knows what we're talking about.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. So this is item number 9 on the agenda, FY 2018 positions, appointments, and authorizations. So trying to do this on an annual basis, these things.
I have a question about the appointments.
Yes.
Is anybody's term up for renewal besides mine?
Yes, you and Bill were reappointed on Monday night.
Oh, we were?
Yes.
I was like,
Always nice to know.
yeah. I'm like, before we vote on this, I have no idea if I'm gonna be here in July.
Yeah, no, you were both
No getting out
approved.
of it.
There were no
Just curious.
no questions or objections from anybody or the selectmen.
Was it unanimous?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, certain party is gone now.
Yeah, but there's 2 other ones that are
Yes,
still
but
there.
They seem to have changed
Oh, okay.
their
They don't want you coming back again.
Yeah. That's right. Well, we'll come back. Well,
yes.
I thought we were gonna have a possible conflict of interest, so, all right.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yes. So the first thing on the
Oh,
list
God.
is the
That was funny.
election of the chair and vice chair. So I am currently the chair. The selectmen want committees to have chairs elected annually, which we do. And right now, they're saying that the chair should not serve for more than 2 years consecutively. I have been the chair for
15 years.
at least 15 years, yes.
So when does this 2-year part
They
take
didn't say,
effect?
they
All right.
didn't say that, so we could interpret it differently, we could be flexible.
Right,
just
well, you
depends.
haven't been chair for 2 years, you've been for 15.
Yes.
You've already gone past.
So
the
I
two,
really
don't
should
worry.
not be chair, I should not be chair, at least for, at least for another year, take a year off,
So, but are they saying, I understand like they would like to see that, or perhaps that's a suggestion or
It's a
whatnot.
suggestion.
But are they saying absolutely
No.
chairman and all boards cannot serve for more than 2 years consecutively? Is that like a rule?
I think that if push came to shove, they would say, I mean, let's say, like, no one can be chair except this person, well then, and he or she is willing to serve, then they probably say, okay, well, what can you do,
Right.
But,
So after 15 years as the chair, what is
Yes.
involved, Mike?
being the chair, okay.
And what are the benefits?
Benefits. The
Did you not
benefits,
take your
yes.
ethics thing? There are no benefits.
Yeah, right, prime parking spot, the key to get into town hall.
The key.
See, I have my own key now.
That took 14 years, right?
Yeah, yes, right, that took 14. So the job of the chair is to obviously run the meeting, set the agenda, manage our agent. Now that we have an agent, you, as chair, you can basically sit home, do nothing, and always
Yeah, right.
just direct our agent to do all the work. But what I currently do is I over the last 8 or 9 months, I've worked very closely with Rosemary, so trying to bring her up to speed, and she's obviously up to speed now, but, she and I work pretty closely together to get through the paperwork and everything else. That all I used to have to do myself. So I don't have to do, the chair doesn't really have to write anything. The chair kind of manages everything, manages the agenda, manages the process that things go through. You know, when you get a notice of intent, we have to manage, you know, where in the process is it, what do they have to do, what are the next steps. We have a database now that we can do that with. We're putting all of our paperwork into Laserfiche, the software program to track all our, to manage all of our documents, so that's a lot easier. And other things like represent the commission at selectmen's meetings.
I was waiting for that one. Yeah.
And, you know, kind of be the point person. So that's what the job entails. So my idea was that, you know, each year we would vote for a vice chairman and a chair, and, you know, then the vice chair would kind of be ready to go to be chair the next year. Now, our vice chair last year was, oh, that's right, Heather.
And theoretically, she could be chairperson for 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right, she could be.
How many times have you been chair, Tom?
Especially since she's just been reappointed for another
Yeah,
term.
right. And Tom, your appointment ends next year, so
I am very well aware of that.
you, me, and Terry are all
Oh.
done in 2018. So,
Is there any rules on that?
no,
Oh,
they
okay.
eliminated that.
Oh, good. So
So
you
we
guys are
can-
all coming
We
back.
can serve
Forever.
forever if we are that crazy. All right, so now that I've given you 10 minutes of unmitigated background material, what do we want to do? So, do,
I have a question.
yes,
How many hours do you put in a week, Mike?
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
for the commission,
You don't wanna know.
right now,
I think the person that's, you know.
but
that
I don't think
should know.
the chairman needs to put this time in anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think Rosemary can do quite a bit of stuff.
He's putting it all on you.
I still.
You okay with that?
I heard that.
I still will help out, but right now, usually I'm here, I would say maybe 10 hours a week altogether.
Like here, physically?
Yeah, not all of that, some of that I do it.
Do you have a job?
No, I don't,
All right,
so.
just checking.
You used to though, for the
Yes.
13 of those.
I don't
Oh.
know how, I don't
No,
know
you're
how I
kidding
did
me.
it before.
Seriously. Every meeting that they hold, you're here.
Yes, well, that's because I'm crazy, but, you know.
So is that a requirement to be chairperson?
No, that's,
Crazy.
see, yes, it is a requirement to be crazy, but it's not a requirement to be here for the selectmen meeting.
Oh, man.
So is there somebody who would like to be chairperson?
Yeah, let's start there. Anybody
chair.
who like to be chairman.
Who would the obvious choice?
Shut up.
It seems like such a cushy position.
Oh.
Yes, right.
I like Mike Dempsey as chair.
Yeah, right. So if I have any issues and such, you're able to
Yeah.
help me out,
I mean,
whatever it is.
The good thing is I'm not leaving.
Right.
I'm still gonna be here to, you know,
Because I'm still
especially-
new, but however, you have a lot of knowledge about the whole background.
I fully support your candidacy in this area. And I'm sure, and I'll speak for Terry, that
Oh,
he-
yeah.
he also fully
Speak for
supports.
Terry.
Yeah, he's gonna be vice chair and get him into meetings. Okay, yeah, I guess I will throw my hat into
All right,
chair.
so
I-
I move to appoint
He's
Heather.
basically, wait, no questions, no discussion, it's like, he's ready.
I'm just making a
Just in
motion.
case she changes her mind.
Yeah, right. Well, you
I
made
move
it
to
sound so
appoint
good with the key and
Heather
everything.
Manger as the chair of the commission from July 1st, 2017 until June 30th, 2018.
I second that motion.
Second on that. All right, any questions? All in favor?
That was pretty quick.
Yes.
Man, he's
It was
Yeah,
almost
staff
as
right
quick
over
as
you.
the selectmen. Did you see the selectmen?
I didn't.
Did you feel the bus go by, or?
You know, I'm
What?
wondering though,
Did
Mike,
you feel the bus go by?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
if, moving forward, because it's obviously changed with Rosemary here, but perhaps we can do, so it's not always the chairperson who is, you know, whatever, has to come to every, or not even that you come to every single selectmen's meeting, but maybe there's certain topics or issues that they're looking, that the conservation, if we agree and we vote on, we can say, you know what, normally the chairperson would deal with this issue for the next couple months, but perhaps we vote for this person to work on this, or
Yeah.
whatever it
Right.
is. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Delegate you to work on that.
Subcommittees.
yes, because see,
Hydro raking, you.
she's the chair. She can appoint us to do anything. She can say, Tom, I need you to go to that meeting and speak about this, or I need you to work
Very
on,
powerful
I
word.
need people to work
Appoint.
on this.
I would
delegate.
encourage you to volunteer to go to that meeting.
See, a
Well, it
good,
depends
I was
on-
trying to help you.
Well,
Now.
Depends on what it is. I mean, if you're,
Yeah.
no, I mean, if there's any kind of
Does this
weird,
make Tom vice chair?
engineering
We
things, I
can.
would say you.
can make that
No,
motion.
we just make it,
Yeah,
Why-
because I'm like, I
just-
can't make heads or tails of the
Right?
plans.
mob rules, right? How it works.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, so the chair should delegate. Definitely.
Like you
So-
do all the
Well,
time.
I know, I'm not,
Oh,
I'm
all
not
right.
doing it because I don't need to, because I'm the one that has all this
Okay.
time, but, you know, you need to do that.
I think you should.
All right, is there a
delegate.
motion,
I know, right? He's volunteering.
is there a motion for the vice chair?
I make a motion. Wait, does anybody want to volunteer?
No, obviously, nobody does.
So, I know he's not here, but, so I'm
This is
hesitant.
going,
But no, does, John wanna do that, do you think, or,
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
I mean, or what do you think, Bill or Fred, or?
I had the name Tom penciled in.
No.
Where are we going with this?
I'm
It's in
thinking
pen,
new
you can't
blood. I
erase
mean,
it.
Well, it is in pen, you just forget it.
That's not what I wanna. I was gonna use a phrase from politics, but I'll refrain.
Well, someone can just make a motion here, since we don't have people dying to take the position.
Nobody's dying to take the vice chair?
Is it like the vice
It's a really
president
cool
where you
title,
do-
I'll tell you, because you just sit here and do nothing, but you have the title.
But do you get a key? That's
No,
it.
you don't.
No key.
No keys.
If you have to run a meeting and the chair's not here, you gotta take it, you gotta go over to the police station and get a key to get in.
Oh, okay. That's a deal breaker.
Did they change the rules on that too, or?
No,
Okay, because usually I run and get the key. Okay. But I
What do you
didn't
mean,
get a
you?
key.
You can get the key?
Yeah.
oh, anybody,
You can make-
anybody
make a
can
motion
get the
to
key.
table
It's
Come
not-
on, you're taking it away from the vice
Anybody on the
chair.
street goes over there and says, hey, I need the key
Yeah, I
to
know,
town
but
hall.
I need to.
I didn't know Mike had a key, but, okay.
Yeah, no, only in the last year, like
Okay,
Fred
so,
said.
so you can hand the key over to heaven now, right?
I know,
There you go, he's gonna take it off.
Not today.
July first,
It's not July 1st yet.
you can have all my keys. All the other, these are all the conservation
How can you
keys, you
sleep?
can have
Poor
them all.
man, it took him 14 years to get that.
I know.
You know, it
Swiped
did.
it right out from under him.
It did. You're absolutely right, Fred.
Any questions?
Yeah, I
No,
moved-
approved.
I moved your boy
All
Tom
right,
as
so-
vice chair.
Who wants to be vice? Do I hear a motion for vice chair?
Fred, Bill,
No?
no desire?
Well, I'm,
Does it
honestly,
take
I
eff-
think I'm
Does it take
just still
effect in
too young.
July, because you're not gonna see my face for the next 7
Oh, we're taking
weeks?
July
July.
off, right?
Yeah. That was the plan.
Yeah, you delegating, because you won't see my face anyway.
Until when? August.
Sometime in the beginning of August.
Sometime in the beginning of August.
Mid to late August. 20,
So the second Wednesday is probably the August one, right? The August
Yeah,
meeting?
We're not gonna meet in August, hopefully.
I thought we weren't
No,
meeting in
it's
July.
July, but not August.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna be here, maybe, not.
this is July or August.
Well, that's just the grand stuff.
Right.
Well, it depends on what day it is.
July, July 12th.
Oh,
Don't we usually, well,
okay, I'm leaving the 14th, so
All right, so you'll be here.
maybe.
All right, so I move to appoint John Gebauer as the vice chair of the
Seconded.
commission from July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018.
He's gonna be so
Moved and
upset.
seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, I love it.
Sorry,
we
John.
gotta vote Terry into something. We gotta make
Oh,
him
yeah,
up with
he's-
something.
We did
Yeah.
that when you weren't
He
here.
make
Do
his
you
own
remember?
subcommittee.
We voted you into one of these.
Wow, Terry can be all of these. Really?
Hmm,
All right,
you didn't even know, did you?
this, I'm gonna make this next motion. I move to authorize the chair of the Groveland Conservation Commission to act as department head for conservation and sign warrants, deposits, postings, and letter permits for the commission. This authorization expires each time there's a new chair and must be renewed by a vote of the commission. So we've got a new chair, so we need to make this motion. So I make the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions on this? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you say after you elect a new chair, but it doesn't become effective until the July 1st
Yeah.
date? Okay.
right. So Heather, I'm gonna be to your house quite a bit because
He's expecting.
I'm not taking any files. Whatever you have, you're bringing to the office.
no, it's not that.
Okay.
It's a doggone warrant every other week has to be, you'll have to sign it for VZ Park.
Oh,
We have to put it in every other week.
wow.
So-
You just leave it in the box and she can come up on a Monday night and sign it.
There is no Monday night sign off.
I thought
There
it
is
was.
They're open on Monday nights. I'll be here.
Isn't,
I usually
I
come
thought
open on
warrant
Monday night.
articles were just
Yeah,
for.
right, the new
You
chair's
still
here
want
every
me to
Monday
sign-
now.
you still want
Why
me
is
to
there a
sign-
warrant article every week? Every other
Every
week?
2 weeks because
That's
people
when the
get
bills are
paid
paid.
from there.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was just for town
Payroll.
meeting.
No, this is VZ Park.
Management of VZ Park.
Yeah, so you'll be signing a lot of stuff.
you forgot to tell me that part.
Well, I left that out.
I left
Something
that
goes
out.
wrong, you'll be sued, so don't worry.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
It'll be fine.
So,
Do I need
did
errors
we
and
pass
omissions?
this one? Oh, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained.
I did.
Okay,
Heather.
next is
Chair.
agent appointments. So, this is, one is for VZ Park. So that they don't have, by them being agents, they're not a committee, they're not appointed by the selectmen, it's not an official town committee. It's our agents and employees, not employees, but they're basically consultants that are part of the VZ Management Committee. So these are the people. So I move to appoint the following agents to perform the day-to-day management of VZ Park for the commission until June 30th, 2018, or serving until annual reappointment or appointment of replacements takes place no later than 90 days after that date. Claire Walsh, Pam Blackier, and Carol Funchen. Carol's new, so, but the other two people are as crazy as I am. They've been doing it for a long time. Is there a second on this?
Hey, can I ask a question?
Second first,
Second.
okay.
No
Question?
question.
No question. If I remember correctly,
Yes,
I know, because like, I know Claire, so when you say the management of VZ, it's anytime there's any kind of expenditures or whatnot, she still comes to us for discussion about it. Because like one time we had to hire an electrician for something. Is that right, or has things changed a little bit?
no. We do all kinds of stuff. I don't ever tell you about.
Oh,
It's the chair.
would you like to know
No,
about it
We
from
need
now on?
transparency.
I will bring it forward.
We don't wanna do this, believe me. The management committee meets once a month, and, I'm on the management committee also as representative, not because I'm chair, but just because I'm willing to do it.
Excellent.
We have to have somebody, I would highly recommend we have one of our commissioners at least be on that management
delegate you.
committee. Yes, thank you. I'll continue to do it.
That's it, done.
But that committee does all the day-to-day stuff of spending the revolving fund money to keep the place going.
So is there a certain amount of money, like if it's over 2,000 or something, that comes to us? Or no, they just deal with it? Like
Yeah.
when you replace the boilers, I
Yeah.
remember you brought it up here.
Yeah.
I can put these.
No, I try to keep you informed, but I don't
But they just do
ask
it.
you to make
Okay.
decisions.
I don't have a problem with what has been done in the past,
Yep.
and I'm not volunteering for anything.
Sounds like you are.
I just, my concern would be that a townsperson comes up and says, you know, XYZ is being spent, and there's no, so there is oversight, so I guess it's not. there's no
Well, there is
but-
oversight, plus every year, we put together a budget
Right,
and it gets okayed by town meeting, the revolving fund.
right.
And it gets reported in the spending from the revolving fund gets reported at town meeting too. But I can be a little bit more transparent as far as telling you more about VZ Park and what we're doing there. You know, sometimes I just kind of take it for granted, we're just doing things, I'm not too worried about it. You know, right now, for instance, we are we used to have 2 furnaces, we put in a new one last year, and we're getting rid of the second old one and connecting all the remaining zones to that furnace. It's gonna cost $21,000. But we've got the money to do it, so it's gonna save a lot because we're gonna eliminate the second furnace. And plans are going on for the, the 12th annual wine and art reception.
This
So
is the
Mark
earliest
it
you
on
have
your
ever.
calendar.
I know. I'm like, didn't I just go to this?
Mark it on your calendar.
This is the exact same one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's what's going on. Those are the big deals going on at VZ Park.
Nice postcard upgrade. Whoa.
All right, so are we ready to
Yep.
vote on the VZ Park agents?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, okay. Next, our conservation agent, I think we should appoint her annually, so it's clear that we appoint her.
Yes.
So, I move to appoint Rosemary Deasy to perform the day-to-day operations of the commission from July 1st, 2017 until June 30th, 2018, or serving with annual reappointment or appointment of a replacement takes place no later than 90 days after that date.
Second it.
Any questions?
No questions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Okay, and then on the back,
Mhm.
commission representatives, all right, so, I guess we did appoint someone to be the representative to the VZ Park Management Committee.
I think it was you
Yeah,
because you
I-
said you were already there.
Yeah, right.
Should
And
we
then
make it,
there's,
should we make a formal vote, though?
yes, definitely, I'm willing to do that.
Okay.
Somebody make that motion.
I make a motion to appoint Mike Dempsey as the commission representative to VC Park Management Committee for a 1-year term.
Second on that?
A second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Second it?
Tom and Fred and Bill.
We all,
Heather no longer seconds motions.
All right, next
I
one.
made the motion.
Next one is Groveland Open Space and Trails Committee. Does someone want to be our official representative to that?
Can I ask what it,
What do they do?
yeah,
They work with us to, kind of, I don't wanna use manage, but they do planning and, projects in our open space. So we've got kinda the Groveland Open Space and Trails Committee, and then we've got Bagnell School. Between those two groups, they do a lot in our large VZ Park, Town Forest, Center Street, Greenway, and
God.
Meadow Pond. So they do a lot of stuff, you know.
okay. No, I don't wanna take something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fred used to be on the Open Space Committee.
Did you know
Okay.
that, Fred?
No,
Oh.
Do we have someone
Did-
who wants to do this?
Did we
So-
appoint somebody last year?
Yeah, me.
Oh, all right. Oh, you again? Sorry. So who would like to be on?
No,
Representative for everything, wasn't he?
No, because
Yeah,
I
all
voted,
three.
I voted Tom in for one of them, because he
Oh,
wasn't
did you?
here. Yeah.
VZ
I
Park.
would throw my hat.
So Terry gets this one then, right?
No, I would,
You will like that?
I
Bill?
would put my
Okay.
name in for that.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
I move to appoint Bill, what's your last name, Bill?
Formosa.
Formosi, as the commission representative to the Open Space and Trails Committee for a one-year term.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, terrific.
I love when people volunteer.
And the last one is the representative to the Community Preservation Committee. I have done this for, I want to say, probably 12 years, 11 or 12 years. I'm willing to do it again for the next year anyway.
Fred, do you have any desire to do it?
No, Madam Chair, I'm delegated upon this matter right here.
She's building her team up.
That's right.
Oh my
Build your team.
Okay.
Looks like we have a volunteer.
I move to appoint Mike Dempsey as a commission representative to the Community Preservation Committee for a one-year term.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right, good, we're done with that. Now, this is my last time being chairman here, so I'm sorry that this has been like a 2.5-hour meeting. The next meetings are July 12th and September 13th. I'm proposing that we don't have a meeting in August if we don't have to. And maybe we don't even have to have one in July if there's no filings, we don't know yet. There's only about another
We'll
week.
check with Rosemary.
That is another week. If
Well,
there's nothing in by next week, then there's no hearings.
And I wonder too, I mean, if somebody's filing for something where they're not planning to do work till whenever,
People gonna be
can we just push it off? But it is, I guess it is 2 months
I'm
off.
not here,
Right.
Terry's not here, so they go still.
But, yeah, I don't have
She's down
only
5
one
hours.
person that possibly could, well, there's actually two. Stonebridge.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we gotta,
Are you here in July?
we need to follow up with both of them to make sure
July
they're gonna
12th?
file and when.
One
I
was
literally
in the
found
mail,
out a day or two
Oh,
and the
you
other
do?
one,
It goes through, so.
he said he couldn't be there tomorrow,
Fred's not here.
so I was trying to
Terry's not.
set up another day.
What do we have, one more week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does anybody know if John's gonna be here in July? Because otherwise,
I can
it's,
send an email out and waiting to hear.
we might not be able to.
Yeah.
4 to 7.
Who's not here?
Terry, Fred.
Terry, Fred, I don't know about John. He said he finds out the day before.
The day before?
No, I mean, for work sometimes, like.
He doesn't
I
know
mean,
this
I
far
don't have
out.
anything planned right now, but.
How about you, Bill? Are you here?
I'm around.
Okay, and you're here.
Yeah.
July,
What-
okay.
What we could do is if we didn't meet July, meet in August, we could just see,
Yeah,
try to play it by ear.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I could Skype in, but raccoon reception out there is pretty pathetic.
Oh, yeah, you could Skype in,
Yeah.
FaceTime, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll
Put my
set you
laptop
up.
on the top of Greylock, I mean, I'm sleeping at the bottom of it, so. Wake up there every night.
Can I make a motion to close the meeting?
we done?
You could.
Yeah.
Why not?
I make a motion to close the meeting at 9:31.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And if you say no, too bad. Thank you, everyone.